I'm really having fun doing all these, telling these stories. So, real quick note about Horn and Hardart in New York City. So, Grammy, through the years, started taking not just me to New York with her on Saturdays, but taking my brother Jimmy, and sometimes my brother Scott would come along. Once I think Billy came, but it was too much for her to have four kids in New York City with the bus and the subways and all that. Anyway, we went to, and I remember it was particular with me and Jimmy. So you'd go run up to the machine, and there was like a changer. You could get nickels. If you wanted a couple dollars worth, you had to go to the window where the girl changed out the money. And, like it was free for all after being like tethered to Graham when we were in Macy's or, I think Bambergers or no, Gimbals. That's right. Gimbals, they were kind of like in competition, right? Anyway, we'd go to both because Grammy had charge cards at both, and she'd buy us school clothes and what have you. Anyway, so then after that, we got to go to Horn and Hart. No more fancy restaurants for Diane. Anyway, me and Jimmy, we're like he's younger than me, but I was a little instigator. I already confessed to that. So me and Jimmy are like sitting there watching, people watching in the restaurant, right? Okay. So okay, Jim, if you're watching this, please hold on because I gotta tell the story. So there's this man and he's sitting across from us. And they gave you these, I guess they call them monkey dishes in the restaurant, like full of your vegetables when you went to the window and you put your little nickels in and what have you. So me and Jimmy are eating our dessert and we saw this little man across the way. And he's, for some reason, God only knows why this man was eating peas with a knife. I don't know. There was plenty of silverware everywhere. So Jimmy just looked at it and caught it out of the corner of his eye. And I looked over and I said, and Grammy, like, Miss Elegant, she's like trying to keep us, all, tucked in, right, herding the cats. And I think Scott, she had her focus on Scott because he was trying to eat. So I think there was the three of us. So I must have been 9 or 10. Okay, old enough to get in trouble. And Jimmy couldn't stop staring at the guy, and Grammy's, she's very prim and proper. Don't stare at people when they're eating. So Jimmy's like this, I'm like this, and right, the guy literally, I should have a knife here. Anyway, I'll pretend this is a knife. He's eating, and he's got like four peas. I swear to God, on my skin, everything that's holy and true, this really happened. The guy's eating like peas on a knife and his hand is shaking. Now that part's not funny, but it was funny. Why is he insisting if his hand is shaking on eating them off a knife? And they're falling down. I swear I thought, is there a hidden camera? Because back then there was a show called, I think You're on Candid Camera, right? And we're looking around. Maybe somebody's playing a joke on Jimmy, and I'm egging him on. I'm like I'm running, and my Graham's like this to me. Diane, stop it! Stop it, you little instigator! And me and Jimmy are just dying. We're laughing so hard, we're like tears, little kids. Then the man just have no idea. We're not like directing it at him. Okay, just to be politically correct here, we're just having our own little fun with it. I'm thinking, why doesn't he pick up the freaking spoon or even stab him one at a time with the fork? And it's a knife again, and they're falling off. This has got to be a comedy. I can't even retelling it all these years later. Me and my brother Jimmy, we go into hysterics. His wife, bless her heart, Karen, she doesn't understand. Why are we going to hysterics? Because the guy just kept insisting on eating peas with a knife. Who does that? Maybe somewhere in some back room in the old film studios, there's footage of me and Jimmy laughing because I'm still thinking it was candid camera. That was my big thing in Horn and Hardart restaurant besides running around and getting all the desserts. And anyway, I love you guys. I had to share that story because I had a fun time in Horn and Hardart. And if it was still open, I would beg Jimmy to go again. All right, later.